Hi everyone, I'm Abby, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Now, last episode we finished up the first part of the trial, and we still have the second part to go. This is the second to last episode, just so you know. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? Looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impax's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered the suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake. Order. Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Carita. Mr. Carita? Well. Looks like Miss Impax never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Engard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engard could not have known that, and so that facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. It does sound very plausible. It's clear that Engard had no idea that the suicide note was a fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Engard to have known it was a fake. Let's see, where are you? Yeah, because he was spying on Mr. Carita, so it makes sense. What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right. A camera. You kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Engard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Engard would have known the victim had forged the note. Ack! So then, the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. Prosecution's theory is as to what Mr. Engard's motive for murder was, and it suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Engard monitored Mr. Carita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Engard didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why didn't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Ugh. Order. Mr. Edgeworth, looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. Ugh, as I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured. It came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you were not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? Now, the prosecution can't prove Mr. Engard's motive through the evidence. We must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, prosecution, I'd like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? It's not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of, who was it that hired Shelly De Killer to commit murder? That's impossible. No such person exists who can answer the question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It's Yes, go on. Who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelly De Killer. Oh, Mr. De Killer. Wait! Shelly De Killer? You mean the killer? Or I mean, the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here? To the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this all right with you? Do I have a choice here? Can't really do much else to drag this trial out. Defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is all right to do this. Very well then. Prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please. Very good, sir. My name is Shelly De Killer, and I am a professional assassin. I say? What is going on here, Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now. They came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. De Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. Do not allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. De Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelly De Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya! A voice. Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelly De Killer. It looks like I've run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so... Now then, witness. There was one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Carita. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Carita. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. Shelly De Killer. What is he going to say? Yeah. Crazy circumstances, aren't there? There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust to a client in himself. That is the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. De Killer seems to be a very clever man. I must say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. De Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? Seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. Too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the De Killer names so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust? It's never happened before, but if it ever did. Yes? That person wouldn't be my client for very long. It would certainly... That's enough. Please, no more. Very well. It was only hypothetical anyway. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of the prescribed rule. The rule? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. This is a trespass cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now. Excuse me, would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. Don't really care about all this extra fluff, just tell us the name already. Patience. Try to calm down a little, it's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and close, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk. I'm not his therapist, you know. The trust between you and your client. Okay. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel you can betray this person? I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. Now then, I do believe it's about time I reveal the name of my client, don't you agree? What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness? What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Carita? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What? Witness! That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What? This can't be. On the phone earlier. Oh, what's going on here? I guess that Mr. De Killer just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. De Killer told him a different name. Matt and Guard, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie, but you're the one who summoned this witness. Ugh. You, Shelly De Killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt Engard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. Prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided a suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. De Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt Engard is innocent. I seem to have all caused you a bit of a confusion. Please continue your discussion and come when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, Engard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. De Killer is lying. And Engard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? We're to believe the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant. Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelly De Killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. The testimony just now, it was all one big lie. Miss Andrews, the suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because God pulled into Matt's twisted world. The testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. De Killer himself has testified. He's named you as his client. No, it's not true. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. You know this lesson impacts a large part of your life. Ugh. You wanted to follow her, and you want revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. No! Mr. Wright! You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I believe you've reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? Phoenix, I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept it not guilty. You are a lawyer. I know, but Banagard is a killer, a murderer. I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than Ingard. Even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it's because of Edward that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten Ingard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If we take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust? I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. De Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. The job here is done. I'm not done yet. I see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well, the trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please reestablish connection with Mr. De Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for? Well, actually, I would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about? Usually done? But what shall we have him testify about now? Mr. De Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court? As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the beginning that Juan Carito was dead. And even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. It's a most unexpected turn of events. For the, 5th time now? However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? We still have a cross-examination to do. But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then you'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what's going on anymore. That makes two of us. Remember what Adrian Andrews said about pouring the tomato juice within the wine glass because she thought the Rita just fainted or whatever? Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. De Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea the one Karita had been murdered. But how do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass. Mr. De Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Karita had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. Isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the exact same thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have knowledge of Mr. Karita's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. Yeah, being sassy to an assassin. Yeah. How strange. Yes? Why is it the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Phoenix, the killer figures out what we're up to. We're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. Prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the witness request was taken. Very well. Right now, I have to buy some more time. While we wait for the items to kill left behind to get here, just know that the very outcome of this trial lies within those items. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I have made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with the brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between the client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It's only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yes, it was very important. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now is of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include a statement just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client. And we already know that's a lie. An intelligent woman, not man. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at the bar and took the request at that time? Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry. That is an impossible tale. What? Shelly De Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip up. About her. So what is the issue? What did you just say just now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she is a woman. That's his breakdown. Yeah. Order! Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following: that he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point. That means Mr. De Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Sweat and grease. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. De Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so, we simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Shelly De Killer. This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up his client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies. Very well, but this time please give us the truth, and nothing but the truth. Yes, now I remember. I took the request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. Request was for the murder of Juan Carita, two or three other small things. I saw the name at the end of the letter. I thought my client to be a man. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but I think we're okay. Look, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Two or three other things? Yes. And what were these other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with this case. What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if he pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney? Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client, which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one... Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I'll have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Yeah, you have to keep pressing him. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Carita's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You give it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. And it's basically what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figure. We need to give it to Adrian Andrews. Shelly De Killer, if you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item? I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it, for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order, order, order. So that's where you two are going. So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means? It means, Your Honor, that it's impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Order, order, order! Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, it's not. That's enough. If that is your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay in my hand. Otherwise, we're in a really tough situation, aren't we? What in the? Mr. Wright, are you? Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should... Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... The prosecution... What has come over everyone? Even you are... A prosecution... rests... What is going on around here? Prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. The prosecution rests with no further questions. Then, the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. And that's where I'm gonna end it. Because I mean... Now, remember... So yeah, thanks for watching. And feel free to like and comment and subscribe and check out my Twitch and Ko-Fi and Twitter/X. And next episode will be the last one, and still a few twists and turns to come. So yeah, keep on the lookout for that. It's gonna be very entertaining, especially if you don't know what's gonna happen. And peace off.